Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here. So we got some really weird news. Yesterday, Ryan Kerrigan announced that he won't be returning to the Washington football team, and today he announced he is signing with the Eagles. So we'll talk about that in today's video. But if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. So let's get right into the video. Alright, so first let's talk about the move with him signing with the Eagles, and then after that we'll talk about his legacy in Washington. So he announced on Instagram that he is signing with the Philadelphia Eagles. He had some interest from the Steelers and Bengals, but he chose to stay in the NFC East. It is unfortunate. I mean, it sucks that Ryan Kerrigan is, staying in the NFC East and it's not with Washington. Really unfortunate because he's been here his whole career. The Eagles, I don't think this really has a huge effect on their 2021 season. Ryan Kerrigan will be solid for them. The last couple years, though, he's slowed down a little bit. I think 5.5 sacks in both of the last 2 seasons, but still can get you some really good clutch sacks, and that's what he's done for us these last couple years. But it doesn't seem like he's going to get a lot of playing time in Philly. Like, he's going to get more than he did with Washington, but he's going to be playing behind Derek Barnett and Brandon Graham, 2 really good defensive ends. Not as good as Montez Sweat and Chase Young, but still some really good defensive ends. And, part of the reason why, it was reported earlier on that it was likely that he was leaving Washington was because he did want to be a starter somewhere, and that's not gonna happen in Philly. But it could happen if he went to the Bengals, maybe even the Steelers, because the Steelers lost Bud Dupree. And also, I just wish Ryan Kerrigan obviously would have stayed out of the NFC East, but also if he were to leave us, go to a contender. I want to see Ryan Kerrigan winning. I mean, no offense to Philly, but I mean, they're not going to be winning in the next couple years, in my opinion, unless Jalen Hurts turns out to be the real deal. It's really unfortunate, but it is a business. We'll see what the money is, and if the money is, significantly more than what the Steelers and what the Bengals offered, okay, that's fine. Ryan Kerrigan, he posted this on Instagram, and he said, "I'll never be able to sum up what these past 10 years have meant to me in an Instagram post, but what I can say is that they have been some of the best in my life. I hope you had as much fun watching me as I did playing for you. Thank you, Washington, for everything. HBK." So, he played the last 10 years here in Washington. You see Chase Young right here saying, "Appreciate you, big bro." And I don't think this has a huge effect on Washington. They did maybe need some, depth at edge rusher, but they did draft 2 guys in the 7th, and if those guys don't look amazing in training camp, mini camp, they can still go ahead and sign another guy, Adrian Claiborne, Melvin Ingram. But Ryan Kerrigan, 95.5 career sacks with Washington throughout his career, drafted in 2011. Ron Rivera is slowly weeding out all of these. I don't necessarily think on purpose, but all these guys that were with Washington before he got here. Obviously Quentin Dunbar and Trent Williams early on, and then this year Nick Sundberg and Ryan Kerrigan. I guess it didn't really seem like a fit. I guess Rivera didn't really want him back, and who knows if Ryan Kerrigan did want to come back if we offered him, but it didn't seem like we were very interested in bringing Ryan Kerrigan back to the Washington football team. Last year he had 5.5 sacks. He actually, he didn't play that much, but still, 5.5 sacks in the time he played was really, really good because he was playing behind Chase Young and Montez Sweat and really wasn't getting that many snaps, but he had a few clutch sacks this past year. Started off the year with 2 sacks against Philly. So, we'll see how he does with the Eagles this year. It sucks that we're going to have to see him twice a year, and it's just weird. I really wish he would have went to a team like Buffalo or maybe Eagles or the Steelers. It's just going to be weird to see Ryan Kerrigan in the division twice a year. I'm just thankful it's not the Cowboys. That would have really, really stung. This still stings a little bit, but not as bad as if he would have went to Dallas. He had a really really good stretch with Washington. I mean, you look at 2014 through 2018. I mean, he was like 13 and a half sacks, 9.5, 11, 13, 13, made the Pro Bowl a bunch of years and was one of the best, pass rushers for a few years there. He was never like elite, but he was always, up there in sacks. Yeah, it sucks to see him go. I really, really wanted him back just because we still could have used another edge rusher. You see what he did there in 2014. 2014, he had 13 and a half sacks, 5 forced fumbles. So he's always going to be a legend here. And I hope, this Philly thing is a 1-year deal, but let's hope it stays a 1-year deal and he either retires or goes to another team after this next season. He's a good guy for the locker room. And I'm sure, a lot of the Washington players are going to miss him. He was a good leader for, Chase Young and Montez Sweat, but I think those guys are ready now where they don't need a veteran leader, and Chase Young at this point is the leader himself. So this move is, it sucks. I really wish Ryan Kerrigan would have finished out his career in Washington, and if not, somewhere else besides the NFC East. But, it is a business, and maybe he wants to see us twice a year because he feels like maybe we did him wrong. I don't know. I doubt that's the case. He probably thinks it's the best fit for him. I don't think it should affect his legacy, but let's say he stays there 2-3 years. I don't know. I think a lot of Washington fans are going to feel a little weird about that. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video, and peace.